Are we back? Hello, hello. Hello? Testing 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? You are back. We're back. Thank you for telling me, Kuba. What was the last thing you guys heard? So sorry for that, chat. My ISP is not doing their job. It crashed. I don't know how long things were gone. Can you please tell me? Oh gosh. Glad to be back. Things are still rebooting and the Wi-Fi is not very good. Not very strong. Cool. Okay. So, it says that my stream length, I got a stream summary. We're back. Yes, we're back. Last thing I remembered you joking about is if I do this, does the game end? And I spent a full minute thinking it was an elaborate joke. Oh yeah. Yeah, so it turns out I was talking to myself for about 5 minutes. We did not game end, so we chose the correct piece of evidence. But Edgeworth is saying that, yep, thanks. Hold on. Yep, Mare got first again. You guys could do it, I guess, but yep, there we go. Hold on. The sounds are not working, because mix it up. Yep, the same 3 people got this top 3, which I think is very funny. Hold on, I need to reset mix it up. Oh, so much scuff. So much scuff. Crashing the potion economy today. Yep. Melon stole 3rd from you, dang. Okay, so we are going to reset. You know, Shakes Fist at ISPs, yeah, I had to go reset my router because suddenly everything crashed. I need to reset a few things, so bear with me, chat. Insufficient disk space to continue recording. I'm not recording this. The VOD is just it. I guess we're gonna get 2 VODs. So, hi YouTube, if you're watching this, yeah, the VOD will be split in 2. My bad. Actually, it's not my bad. It's my internet service provider. Wouldn't the world be such a much better place if internet service providers just provided internet service? Isn't that just a utopia? That's just wouldn't that be great? That's a crazy idea. Yeah, it is. Radical even. Yeah, Melon. That's... Wow, isn't that just... it's their one job and they regularly screw it up anyway. Yeah. I also wish there was like a notification to be like, you've ended stream, but OBS just silently recounts it. And the bottom left part of OBS for me is covered by my microphone. So I didn't realize until I looked over to check my bitrate and saw that it was 0, and I was like, oh no! Anyway, welcome back everyone. I was out for, I think, 6 minutes. I'm not sure. It's to the point where Streamlabs sent me my stream report, so that's fun. But we back, and we're gonna continue. Yes, so there was... we pointed out the wine glass full of tomato juice. And... Yep, everyone gets double potions today. Acid resistance, very nice. There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews. What? There's Adrian Andrews' fingerprints. Great. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Yoink! Yep, my nose is gone. Great. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? New stream, new nose, yoink. Yep. I wonder how Twitch will save it. I'll have to check later, because they haven't sent me my stream summary, so they might be taking a long time, or they might just fuse the two together. Who knows? Not me. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? Can't believe I fell into another trap. Yeah, lock in, Phoenix. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corridor. I suppose so. Flashbang! But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. I dropped the glass, honestly. If it were me, I'm not saying that Adrian wasn't shocked, but I don't think she was. But if I was shocked and saw a dead body, I would drop what I was holding. I wouldn't have the capacity to gently place it down on a dresser. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Now do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. Adrian is the killer solely for drinking tomato juice in a wine glass because it's fucked up faux pas. Yeah. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Nuh-uh! Hold on! Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. What? The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Huh? Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Let's go, Edgeworth? Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Hold on, I need to drink water. She's gonna yap. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Ah! Gotcha! I wonder what happened to that calm composure she had earlier. Oh, edgy boy, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with the testimony, but who knew that under that helmet it was the wicked witch of the witness stand? I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime. Oh man. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Oof. Shush. I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Edgeworth just lost the case by bringing Old Bag. Yeah, he did. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, ma'am. No, please, by all means, interrupt her. Please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. Biggest throw of the century. Yep. It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Old bag moment? Yep, old bag moment. Wow. Biggest throw of the century. Thank you, old bag. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone's crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. What? Hold up. Corrida is also 21. They are the same age. What do you mean, little child? I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corrida. They're the same age, ma'am. And you are much older. But those two were the same age. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed that night of the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Ah, biggest throw. What you witness? Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. I do not know. I do not wish to know. Rewind, go back. I do not wish to know. Stop here, actually. Leave this courtroom. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. Oh? It was on guard. Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. So, Mr. On Guard came out of the victim's room. See? It has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. I will. After the ceremony, went to pace around the hallway. I mean, she is security, but that is still creepy. Something I was interested in finding out. I don't want to know, but we're gonna press her. Something you were interested in? And just what was that? It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know? It's top secret between me and Juan. I do not feel safe. I need to tell a trusted adult. Oh, don't make that face. Ah, an edgy poo, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to a testimony later. It looks like we should enforce it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? I was on the job, make sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. Great. Someone showed up. Someone showed up. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. What do you mean you're not allowed to say? You're on the stand. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, he was... Yes, he was. I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now. Yeah, you know, maybe Francisca maybe she was on to something, you know? Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was on guard, mad on guard. Okay, cool. How you saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yesy. Really? Annoying brat! When I say I saw someone, I saw that person! Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Oh, with powers? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Person's face? Person's clothes? Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome young man you are, really. As if something like that matters. Yes, it matters, old bag. Please, Wendy. But it does. Now, what was it? Oh, yes. It was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. He was wearing that at the detention center too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men. He what? The what? The what? Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Yes, because he should have been in costume, right? It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? He doesn't. Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please. Well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without a reason, but if I must... He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all for show. She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us. Really bad. But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? There's nothing sweet about her, Mia. Bless you, but, no. That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pay some... Okay, it's restarting. Cool. Something I was interested in... Okay. Keep an eye out, so someone showed up. Was on guard. Flashy racing jacket. Okay, this has been added. Cool. Can I present something? Can I present, like, he's supposed to be wearing his pants. Where was it? It's this one, right? Hakama? He's supposed to be wearing his hakama. Hold on, let me Google what hakama is. Is it a jacket? I hope it's a jacket. Please let it be a jacket. The skirt-like garment worn over a kimono. Great. I mean, if he were wearing a hakama, it would be pretty obvious, and she would have also mentioned it. She would have called that out, right? Probably. Miss Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? Ah! It's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume! Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this! Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. On-Guard's body during a full-body search. See? This button proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was that rascal on guard. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants. See? And on guard is the nickel samurai. Witness? Now, it may just be me, but And I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt on guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? Got her. Ah, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore this trendiest dress, but instead I have to put up this ridiculous looking outfit. This outfit is hideous, right? It's heavy, so heavy. I wish we had switched up Dream Alive with those kids out there. Understand? Now we're taking a look in the mirror. Your clothes Now hold your tongue still for 1 second. What? That was a lot, chat. I couldn't even catch all of it. What he saw in actuality was not Mr. On Guard, the man, but Mr. On Guard, the Nickel Samurai? But when you think about it, I love the Steel Samurai theme. They're really one and the same anyway. You've made this mistake before, old bag. We've been here before. Miss Old Bag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgy-poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Who I saw. Great. Third testimony. On guard, yes. Now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. We've been here before. I've played these games before. Yeah, yes. It would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go out to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. He didn't stab. The cause of death was not stabbed. It was not blood loss, old bag. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy and thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Youngins today, I told you there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Pain. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I don't wanna. Now I remember the Nickel Samurai, that's when... Nickel Samurai, but do you know it's on guard? Was his face out? Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said that he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not? Not too long ago? Then let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? My dream, huh? I wanted to go to law school so that I could be in court with Edgeworth. That's canon, by the way. Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public court. So what? We're gonna get hit by ads in a minute. See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. The past was like 2 minutes ago in game. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies? This entire game, Phoenix. All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough? Oh. Would have been convenient. Excuse me. Would have been convenient. Time to wear this costume during the murder. Do I have something? I'm pretty sure. I was gonna confess something. Glossy photo. Can we not check? Oh yeah, it's still stolen. So he was here, Carda was here. Lobby where the press conference is here. Is there nothing? So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Oh, you've been hit by ads. We will take a break, chat. We'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you for waiting, everyone. Hope you had time to do what you need to do. Oh, very cool. Interesting, interesting. Apparently, I'm running out of disk space. I'm not recording this VOD. OBS, I'm not recording. What do you mean? I don't know what's wrong. It's fine, chat. I will settle this off stream. Let's continue, shall we? So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. This was not the murder weapon. Objection! Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Yes, Judge. Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to the case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Edgeworth knows what's up. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at. They know each other so well, chat. They know each other so well. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Mr. On Guard was actually in the nickel samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all fingerprints off this. He would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Franzu! Welcome, welcome. Thank you for checking in. Potion of acid resistance. Ooh, that's popular today. Hello, hello. Hope well today. Yes, I'm well, but my sleep schedule has been whack. I slept at like 4 AM, then woke up at 7, then went back to sleep and woke up at 12. And then I took a nap earlier, so my sleep schedule whack. But okay, you're cooked. Don't worry, I will lock in. I'll sleep early today after stream, and then I'll wake up early tomorrow and do my work. But, Krantz, I kind of caved on the thing I was talking about. So there's this brand called Flower Nose, right? They sell cosmetics and makeup and stuff, and their newest collection really suits me. Send pics when you get it. I will. It's pretty expensive, but I joined a group buy, which is cheaper because we buy basically the huge bundle, and then we split it amongst many people, and the bundle is cheaper than the individual items. So girl math, I'm saving money. Hehe. Excited for you. They do look very cute. Thank you, Krantz. They're very cute, and it's ocean themed. So a few things are in Okina colors, which is kind of why I'm biased and why I wanted to get them. Hehe. Very on brand. Yeah, like it has coral and stuff too. It's great. Right, back to the case. We gotta lock in. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? Does he? One glove? The other is whatever the hell this is. Large metal gauntlet. Large metal prosthetic arm. He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Why would he do that? Why would he do that, Edgeworth? Answer me that! And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon, that's what I said. There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk to the victim about the stage show. Then why did he bring a knife? Huh? Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Was there? Matt doesn't seem like he can hurt anyone. Yes. I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? Why would he bring a knife if he just went to talk then, huh? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with his theory? Yes! There's a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Miss Ungard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Knife. Right? Knife. Take that! This knife. This was used by Miss Ungard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Carter. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring the knife? He wouldn't, would he? We got him. Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over like bees on a hive. We got him, chat. We got him. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to mislead their identity and mislead us. To hide their identity and mislead us. I can read. Order. Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame Matt on guard? To hide murder? No, to frame Matt on guard. It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course. To frame?
Objection!
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
Objection!
But we just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Grr. Witness? Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the nickel samurai? His character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai, she was waiting for the Jammin Ninja, right? Alright then, who are you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you are waiting for Mr. Juan Corridor. Am I right, witness? Ha, ha, ha. The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. You what? Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corridor. Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Edgeworth said gossip, right? It's gossip. It has to be Adrian. If it's not On Guard and if it's not Corridor, it has to be Adrian, right? Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Miss On Guard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? Because it's a long story, Judge. It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... Well, this is... Oh, I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA. Are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. What? Witness? What in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. Uh-oh. I've got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Yeah, same, Judge. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information. Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you youngins. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. That on guard one is evil. That on guard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to getting close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh. And this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? We're in a courtroom. The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant. Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Oh no, I need to... Oh no. Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right. On guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Okay. Well, as the old saying goes, you've gotta burn old bags with fire? I'm sorry? Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Hi, Lychee. Welcome, welcome. How's your day? I hope it's been good. On guard is one evil, evil man. By causing a huge scandal. You're not getting me with that one, Lychee. You're not getting me with that. Also, if you check the rules, spin the... You can see the consequences. The fun wheel, yeah, the consequences. The fun wheel. You wanna spin the fun wheel? A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Potion of love? Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days? No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much. Well, that on guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity. So to do that, he sent his own manager to getting close with one. Okay, getting close. That's the gossip thing. So I took action. What action did you take? What do you mean by I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her, teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need. You were going to teach her a good lesson? I don't think confessing to premeditated assault is a good thing to do in court. I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this. No, stop. Does it do anything? Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night. She didn't? Then how did the glass get there? How did the glass get there, huh? I'm not tripping. How did the wine glass get there, huh, old bag? It has her fingerprints. Okay, good. Top secret, nobody else near it. I don't think it's top secret, actually. I don't, considering there's this, not this, there's this tabloid article. Lotta knows. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection denied. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright. What? Whoops. That didn't go so well. No. Top secret. No one else knows but you and me. I'll press, I guess. Jeez. Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did that old bag get such a secret piece of information? Do I present here? Camera? So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag? But why are you looking at me like that? Stop that! Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire secret info, isn't it? Please let me be right. Let me be right. The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you said? Oh, no, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? We got her. Ah, that's it. That's the note. No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note? I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Cool. Edgeworth, calling Old Bag to the stand is your throw of the century. Welcome back, you fumbled. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? Ma'am, you are married. I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. That's such a sick burn for Edgeworth. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Should we forgive her, chat? No. Pile on more pressure. No forgiveness. This is court. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. Have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness? You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can. That's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Yes. Yes, I am. Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole that night. It's the camera, right? It's the camera, right? Because the note was in the camera bag. She can't have stolen the note without the camera. Miss Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? Camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie 1600 camera disappeared on me. I was gonna say 1600, but Lotta is Texan, question mark. So she would say 1600. Why? Witness! What is it, Grams? If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too. Like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? You just admitted to theft. You just admitted to theft in court, old bag. That's why. Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? You mean bro was holding on to it and no one saw it? Yeah, she had it somewhere in her inventory. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrow is a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said Slime Bag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things. Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. We get more evidence, chat. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. Yo? This is the Nickel Samurai. It sure is. It sure is, however... Okay. Is something off? I can't tell. That looks weird, but it could just be the angle. See, I told you! That's the guy I saw. This guy's not wearing a racing jacket. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Lada's photo, picture taken in the hallway right after the murder. What does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ungard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. What is Edgeworth's game? What is he playing at? Like, is he trying to throw purposely? What's going on? How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? No. If this photo is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Okay, just the last thing. That's that. Let me check this. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, so there's still the cloth thing. There's pockets somewhere on him. Picture. Am I missing something? What? Huh? Huh? What is this? Reactive? Why is reactive active? That's so weird. I'm not in a Discord call. That's reactive. It's the thing I use to when I do collabs. Is the thing I use to show other people's PNGs. I don't know why it activated itself. Also, I don't have Discord currently active on my computer. It's very weird. We're getting a lot of weird stuff. I think my computer might be haunted, chat. Oh, I see it. I see it, chat. I see it. I see it. He's too short. He's too short. Because I was thinking back to the original case, and the Steel Samurai was also too short. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lada took, there's something strange with it. He's too short. There's There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. Check your eyes! There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. What's a bunker buster? Hold on, let me Google that. Let me search that up. Bunker buster. Yes, maybe? Hey Chrome, could you please load? Oh, it's a bomb. Cool. It's a type of like missile that's meant to take out underground bunkers. Cool. Interesting. Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Not literally. But I do want to drop a bombshell on Edgeworth. It's a type of ammunition that is meant to pierce the ground and target structures that are underground, like bunkers, you know? So he's trying to debunk. It's a Miles Edgeworth pun that you need to have contextual knowledge to appreciate. It's a pretty good one, but it's a niche one. Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Sure, Judge. One chance, yeah, sure. Sure, one chance. Haha, yeah, one chance is all we need. Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. When the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's hard to focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. Your Honor, I call Shorty. Oh, shoot! Oh, chat. Oh, yikes. It's a good thing that I checked earlier because I can't pull up evidence now. Like, I'm pressing tab, you can't. Your Honor, he's really short, actually. That's not him. That's not my client, Your Honor. Please believe me.
Take that!
I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. Well, what are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. Yo? Bongo? And? What does that mean? The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard. We're pulling the same stunts. What is the meaning of this?
Objection!
I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama. His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, see, I called it exactly. The Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. I don't know about that. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. Oh, character development? Hey, yo! He doesn't feel under attack, then I haven't damaged his case at all? Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, I thought he was like, oh, actually, I'm just a prosecutor and I need to find the truth, but I was wrong. Edgeworth does care about winning. Never mind. No character development. Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right. I have something to ask you. I'm scared. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Adrian, maybe? Who is this person wearing the nickel samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. I'm stressing out over it, Mia. Okay, it has to be Adrian, right? She's the only suspect we have. She's the only suspect we have. She's the only other person in the area at the time because they had dinner together, right? They had dinner together. Do we have a picture? Do we have a picture? No. Crime photo? No. No. We don't have a picture, but they had dinner together. I remember that. So if someone's coming out of the room, if someone's coming out of On Guard's room, it has to be Adrian. I'm just gonna yeah, we're fine, chat. We're fine, chat. Everything's fine. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah. Why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Adrian, I think. Has to be, right? Has to be, chat. I don't think anyone else could be it. Adrian Andrews, please be right. If you want to know who that nickel samurai is, there is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? Wrong place, wrong time, I guess. For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. On Guard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. On Guard that night. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. a certain knife with Miss Engarde's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of one corridor. If it was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the... It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order, order, order! It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya! Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Oh no. Object? We have to, right? We have to object. No then. Objection! Please, Your Honor, continue this trial. You must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she is not... I abhor wasting such valuable time. Exactly. Exactly. We shouldn't waste any time. Edgeworth? Oh no. Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. Ayo, Rare Edgeworth W. Thank you, Edgeworth, indeed. Thank you, Edgeworth. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. Yo! And what do you mean by that? Oh no, is she a witness for the prosecution? Oh no. Oh no, she's gonna lie in court, and we're gonna have to prove that she's lying in court. That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Ayo! Dang, I called it. Okay, cool. Everything was planned out in advance by that man? Somehow, I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. What do you think, chat? Should we continue? I want to continue. 2:14 p.m. Lobby 3. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way! Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So, after the ceremony, during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. How did she get the costume off of you? See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Is there another costume? Or how did she get the costume? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Oh, did Juan cause, what's her name, Celeste, to off herself? I think maybe. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Again, I don't think you can just claim that for yourself. Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes. That Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact's as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. We're gonna get hit by ads in a minute. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Why would she frame Matt? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impact's. It was Edgeworth. Oh. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. Ooh. That is true. We will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. We're gonna get hit by ads, so while court has reconvened, we will take a break. I know we probably should have taken a break during the recess, but we will take a break now. Court, don't look at that, chat. Court is not back in session yet. We'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you for waiting, chat. Let's continue, shall we? Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. What are you playing at? Because Edgeworth was helping us before Francisca got shot. I still don't know what on earth happened, but we're here, so what is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt on guard. I've forgotten her voice. I see. Now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure. What is it? Why would you agree? Oh yeah, she's pretty. I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. I would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter? Or was that bait and fry? Mine's were fishing. But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. Haha, haha, you're so funny. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then, witness. Please testify to the court. Sure. About what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. What? I'm sorry, what? You poured yourself a glass of juice? That's even wilder than Edgeworth's theory. Chat, you ever get so shocked that you pour yourself a glass of juice? You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She's one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Oh? Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand? Jeez, okay, cool. Poured yourself a glass of juice is crazy, chat. You're not Matt's. Okay, Matt. You had dinner with him. You had dinner with him. And what was Mr. On Guard doing at the time? She's gonna lie. He was taking a nap. Checks out. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. On Guard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes? It could not have been taken out of his room? Excuse me? It? What are you?
Objection!
Right? I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. Dang, okay. Yo, Vapor! Resubbed? Sorry, I didn't see. Vapor, thank you for the 3 months. I didn't see this. Hold on. Thank you. Sorry I didn't shout that out earlier. I just turned over and I clicked to my activity feed. No ads. No ads indeed. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, move Mr. On Guard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right? Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Edgeworth, we went to school with you. You went to school with Phoenix. You know he knows how to construct a sentence. Shut up. After that, I went to Juan's room. And you did what?
Hold it!
You were in shock? What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corridor. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. Was it though?
Hold it!
This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too? Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then, what did you do next, witness? I felt as though I was going to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. I have to press this. This is wild. That's a wild thing to say, objectively.
Hold it!
Juice? There was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. That's an insane thing to say, and that's an even crazier thing to do. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of one coroner, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? Yeah, I also feel like I'm tripping. And what of it? My mind was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. That one thing? Never mind. It's no big deal. Rewind. What was it? Tell me. Press further. Press further. Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. Nope, you're lying. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. The flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser. That's weird. That's suspicious. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Didn't you say the guitar case was already open? Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. I found contradictions already. And so has Edgeworth. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over where it fell onto the guitar case. That's the contradiction, right? Only on top of the lid, yeah. I'm just scared because I'm too down already. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over, correct? Flower vase. I keep switching between American and British accents. I'm sorry. Phoenix speaks in a British accent because I kind of do. I don't know if Adrian Andrews does. She seems more American, but I don't know, chat. Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there a problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what's so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what's that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside, not outside the case.
Objection!
What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all?
Objection!
No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case.
Objection!
But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. That may very well be. However, this empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? It seems there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? I say, make her testify. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along, for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. That's so suspicious! It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. No, it's so suspicious, Judge, don't you see? This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Aww, Edgeworth misses us. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Come on, Phoenix. Using any way to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. Dang, okay. Don't remember too clearly. It was a bit dazed. suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. I'm pretty sure that's BS. It bears Corrida's fingerprints.
Objection!
There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. Ah. What is it, Miss Andrews? Yeah, what is it, huh? Huh? You shouldn't assume that I must have left fingerprints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the award ceremony. Of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's strange. You have your fingerprints on the wine glass. Right? I'm not going crazy. You are lying. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Yes!
Take that!
I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Order, order, order! Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. That's what I've been saying. But it's just an empty case. It wasn't empty, Nick. Lock in. Do you want Maya to die? I wonder if it really was empty though. Finally, someone says it. But the guitar. The bright red guitar was at the studio. It could be filled with something else. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves despite the fact that on the case...
Objection!
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. No, nuh-uh. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us into his misguided...
Objection!
No, Your Honor. I plead nuh-uh. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. Which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder.
Objection!
If you are so sure, right? Then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? I can? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a black guitar was in the case. So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? Another costume. It has to be, right? Like another costume. The Nickel Samurai. Because she couldn't have taken the costume off of him if he was while he was sleeping. That would be difficult and also very weird, but mostly difficult. This is a photograph. Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture? It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is... Inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Wright, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Duh. Keep up, Edgeworth. Jeez. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't have let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? Oh, we got her. We got her! I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. I don't think that's a good strategy, Phoenix. I don't know. I mean, it's working, but I don't know about that, buddy. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Madame Guard's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case, of all places? True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai's costume? What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside this guitar case? It was a spare costume. Clearly it wasn't taken from On Guard. On Guard was wearing it. Mr. On Guard did not take his costume off during the break period. Okay, that's right. In that case, the costume we're talking about was a spare one. What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 nickel samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, that is what I'm saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Carter, was the Jamin ninja. Why would he secretly bring the nickel samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? It's because that's the confession. That's the confession. And therein lies the sticking point.
Objection!
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the nickel samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? I'm so sure. Mia, I'm so sure, actually. Yeah, I'm so confident. I know what's going on. Absolutely. Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the nickel samurai spare costume to the hotel was it's the press conference. It's the confession. They're changing actors, right? Definitely. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? I was actually watching with bated breath. I'm actually the biggest fan of the Nickel Samurai. Edgeworth loves the samurai shows. Don't pretend. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. Yeah, we got her. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim? Yes. The spare nickel samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. I called it, chat. I definitely knew what was going on. I didn't just guess. Mr. Corrida was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Corrida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt on Guard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. Miss Andrews? I can see why you are pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him. That was also me. You? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. What? He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. I knew Matt was suspicious. What? You can't just declare yourself refreshing as a spring breeze. And do you know what this secret of Miss On Guard's is, Miss Andrews? That's something only one knew. I don't know what it is. Huh, I see. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone, but that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. On Guard? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor. I understand. What's going on? From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Oh, she's trying to push suspicion onto Matt. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what, and he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. Oh, she's lying. You lie. This does account for everything. No, why? Why would you do that, huh? Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine, Mr. Wright. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. Wonderful. Had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Why? Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. I mean, yeah. But also... And if you think these 3 things are if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. Yes, I do know that. They didn't teach that to us in school, at least not from what I remember. Lock in, Phoenix. May I continue now? had to kill one no matter what. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. Were you not his alibi? What? But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. On Guard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. On Guard? Don't feed it to her. I'm not telling you anything of the sort. She still committed perjury. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time. I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however. The judge is glaring straight at Mia? At Mia? He's glaring at you, smart guy. Great, yeah. The button and the knife. How did you know about the button? You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then, what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and the murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume. No, that doesn't make sense. Hold on. That doesn't make sense. Because if they were fighting and the button was ripped off, that means it wouldn't be covered in blood. Because the cause of death was strangulation. It was asphyxiation from the bandana, not the knife. The knife he was stabbed after he died, so the blood would not be on the button yet if it came out during the fight. Which means he was killed and then stabbed and then the button was taken. That button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. No, I wasn't. Let me talk. Phoenix, lock in. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Why are we so focused on the knife anyway? The cause of death was strangulation. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Well, I'm not accepting my defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Can Mia also read our mind? Because, like, Maya and Mia have been responding to our thoughts. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. The button was torn off of one during this fight. Yeah, that has to be. Can we... Where's the autopsy report? Is it just me or is the audio super funky? Oh no. Is the audio super funky? Oh no. I have no idea how to fix that. It seems fine on my side. The BGM is getting crunched, but your voice is okay? Uh-oh. I'm not sure. I'm glad my voice is okay. I think it got fixed. It's okay now. Sometimes you just gotta like adjust the sound in OBS and then bring it back to where it was and it fixes everything. I have no idea why that works. It works somehow. Where was it? Where was the autopsy report? Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Yeah, during the fight, it would not have blood. Right? Right? Like... I'm gonna send it.
Objection!
This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by scarf. Andrew get cooked. Yeah! Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Come on, Judge! Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it. It's the opposite of the Gant case. Because the leather didn't have blood on it. And the button does. Which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly. Which means... it's impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Order, order. What is the meaning? What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? We got him. Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it? It was to pin the crime on guard. To frame my client. There is only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There is no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course. And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then? It has to be Andrews. I know earlier I said I didn't want it to be her because it would be too easy, but you know what? It is. Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard, is Adrian Andrews. Miss Adrian Andrews, I choose you. Go Pikachu. You are Mr. Corridor's killer. What? Her glasses exploded. Order, 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 Mr. Wright. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? What do you mean? I suggested this earlier and you were like, oh, we'll subpoena her. Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. What? How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Then, what about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama? This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there is no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which is you yet again, Miss Andrews. I see. What about the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. No,
Objection!
But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So, to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposefully left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. I don't know, because Corridor's room had a lot of bears. This is On Guard's room, isn't it? No reasonable person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please stop. How many glasses does she have? Infinite. She has so many glasses. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. So you're confessing that it can incriminate you, then we're gonna get hit by ads, chat. We're gonna take a short break. I'm gonna get a snack. We'll be right back. I'm back, chat. I have some food. It's some chicken from earlier that I had for lunch. The ads have ended. Welcome back, everyone. I got some food because I was a little hungry. Let's continue, shall we? Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? What do you mean, what? Gant did the same thing. Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. So are we in America? Actually, thinking back to yesterday, in Mr. On Guard's room. Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Also, Melon said, how is she evil but so hot? Kuvas has many such cases. Yeah. A lot of villains are hot. Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things looked bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there is still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done? What's wrong, Wright? Aren't you finished? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? Nuh-uh. What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial, damn it. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did, in fact, have a wish to murder Mr. Corridor. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corridor? I believe this may lead me to incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. That's as good as a yes. In the eyes of a jury, that's as good as a yes. I'm just saying. In real life, did you want to kill this man? I abstain from answering. That's a yes. Because if it was no, you would say no. But Miss Andrews. Dang, to think pleading the fifth is the final boss, yeah. If you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so. Or maybe not. There is nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. No! She's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia! What should we do? Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation, damn it. Yeah, she refuses to talk. That's not good. Worst possible. Don't know about worst possible, but it's down there. I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify. And the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. But that's not true. In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do. And that is to declare a recess. Recess? I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter, and at tomorrow's trial... Tomorrow? Oh no. We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial? Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya... But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
Objection!
Oh? It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Yo? Another Edgeworth W? Mr. Edgeworth, what are you? It's true, Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation was something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but... Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews? When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yeah, which is a wild thing to do, let me just say. Yes, and... I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Finally someone said it. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Yo, Edgeworth is saving us? Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? Lover? I just don't know. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. That's wild. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. Why are you changing up your entire story? And one, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. What? To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. That's crazy. You didn't check his pulse? When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. That's... huh? So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony? I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with his testimony, then there's nothing left. That's an insane testimony. You mean you saw him with a knife sticking out of his chest and you were like, I didn't know he's dead. You didn't check his pulse? Like, huh? Like, you had to have seen the knife. If not, you're the one who stuck the knife in, you know? I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours? He's trying to save you, Phoenix. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself? That's insane! Saw it in a messy state, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Why not? Why didn't you think he was... Then what did cross your mind? I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix. And then felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap. That's insane! That's insane! No way! No way! Anyways, that's what I thought. That's insane. I see, so you didn't think he was dead at all. Why? Huh? He has a knife sticking out of his chest. What do you mean? What? No. Didn't cross your mind? It didn't cross your... Okay, I need the photo. She saw this, chat, and didn't think he was dead? So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body? Yeah, I sleep with a knife impaled in my body. Yeah, you know, to prevent your shoulder from getting stiff. What is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Carter's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that here was a dead man. Well, you see, I doubt a single person in this world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink. Your point is? Miss Andrews, your testimony just now was all one giant lie. Exactly. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer. No! Yes, we got her. Right? We got her. It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. Yeah, I hope so? The defendant, Mr. Matt on guard, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible. You're wrong. Miss Andrews, try to have some composure. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan. But you were the one who refused to testify. and your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because... Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? I refuse to testify. That's... We got her. Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt on God's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Is she innocent? Was I right? Edgeworth's gonna fuck it up, watch him? Yeah. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt on guard. Was she innocent all along? I did say so. I did say at the beginning, I think she didn't do it because that would be too easy. Because these cases, never easy, never straightforward.
Objection!
Ah. Dang, Melon, you right. Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What are you doing? What are you doing? What? The reason is quite simple. Is it? The witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. The absolute real truth? What are you? Witness? Don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt on guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty. If I spoke, then it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty. Huh? What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it? I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. Huh? It's Francisca von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. That's... yeah, but... huh? Can she also, like, not think for herself? You know what? Matt must just have a twin that is short. That's the plot that's the plot twist. Thank you, game. Yeah, surely. Then, right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt on guard will be acquitted. Acquitted? Does that mean Adrian was also set up and lied to? Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now, and is clinging on to them. Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? I said that at the beginning, and I was like, that would be too easy and straightforward. And then when she became the suspect, I was like, well, I guess. All we have to do now is get out not guilty. That's my only priority. It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help, please. Someone help me. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. The court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do. What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right? I suggest you think very carefully about this. Huh? Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. I mean, she is too small to like strangle on guard. Not on guard, to strangle Corrida, right? Because Corrida is an action actor and he's pretty tall. And he's tall enough to become the next Nickel Samurai. And Adrian Andrews is quite a petite lady, so I don't think she actually killed him. But I do think that she was convinced by someone to take the fall, whether she knows it or not. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime. The real mastermind? Bro, what? Unless Celeste isn't dead, I don't know who Adrian would listen to. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? It's Old Bag. Yeah, she's the real mastermind. Let's just kill her. There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right? Come on now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Phoenix Wright? Should we save Maya? I think we should save Maya. Save the game, yeah, I'll save the game. No matter what she says, Miss Andrews is the only person it could be. Not to mention, I don't have a choice. I have to win a complete acquittal by today. Your Honor, the defense believes there is enough evidence to substantiate our claim. I don't feel good about this, actually. Maya can't die. She has plot armor, right? That's why I thought about Mia, but you don't think about that. The truth. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. It's not her. She's being manipulated by someone. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you are really hiding. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? Sure. Mr. On Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. And like, that's also not great. Especially since On Guard can't think without a manager. Is this how you really want this trial to end? But be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me. That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth. You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop! Mr. Edgeworth? This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop! Please stop! No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. That's... Bro just exposing her medical history? Yeah. That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? You will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. Please stop. I beg you. If people find out, I'll... Heartless. Is she the dead person? What? What do you mean, is she the dead person? Like, did they swap places? I don't think so. They have different eye colors and I don't know. They look different enough that I don't think she could pull it off. It's not like the sisters, Eenie and Meanie. If you're going to say you choose death, that is of no concern to me. Stone cold! Didn't they already do the dead person swap? Yeah, they did it in one of the previous cases. The Eenie Meenie case, yeah. Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. That's insane. That line goes so hard. No matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please, help me. Why, huh? Nothing matters anymore. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume. Stab the body with the knife? But why would you do that? Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man. Miss Matt? But you just said you wanted Matt to be acquitted, huh? What do you mean by all of this? It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. You are switching up so fast, I cannot keep up. Huh? He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. Last time? Huh? So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim Juan Carda in the chest with the knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is a crime. But she just said that she thought if she did not speak, Matt would be acquitted. And she wanted Matt to get acquitted. So what is this? What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? I was never quite convinced of that. Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Just gonna... I am going to press you on everything, actually. Really thought he had fainted on us. But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say you didn't know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is part of the Jammin' Ninja's costume. So I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. When I realized he was dead, this was when I formulated my plan. To frame Matt? What is this plan you had? I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weakness. Matt's weakest point to the world. So, Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. I genuinely don't think Matt knows a single thing about incrimination and weaknesses, because he didn't even want to talk to a lawyer, and he was like, wait, let me ask my manager if I can tell you this. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Hold on. Following my plan, I'm gonna press you on everything. Hold on. That was so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it, including the blade? Like, that's crazy. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a... So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife? It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. I don't think you're capable of that. Your dependency... Who? Tell me. Who told you to do this, Adrian? Because I don't think you cooked this up yourself. Certainly not. Then when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Miss Dawnguard's hakama. Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? Inconvenience. Who? An inconvenience? Was it Laura? There was a woman with the camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. Yeah, it's Laura. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Laura. There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. That's Miss Olbeck for you. I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. That's why I ended up using Nichols. Tell me about that. You were the one who prepared the costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes. Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. It still doesn't add up why you would help him and then... Like, you helped him organize that. He couldn't have organized it himself. He was going to disclose Matt's biggest secret there. Which is? Then what is the secret? That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want to know about the costume. Did not want anyone to know about the costume. I think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Miss Dawnguard's room and planted the button? Into Matt's hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word! What does all this mean? Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt on guard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francisca, huh? She said that I should under no circumstances confess to what I had done. that if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. You said acquitted last time. Someone else said acquitted. I had no choice but to believe in her words. I don't buy it. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. Yeah. You think? However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. The vent is still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. At this point in time, huh? Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. What? What was that sound? Huh? Today's trial, it's over. And I didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked me about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remembered just now. I found this in the room on that day. Oh? The room? That day? Yes. I found this card when I discovered one's body. You couldn't have brought that up earlier? It was lying there right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body and you told no one? I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. You, huh? But it's not as if this card has any relevance to one's murder, right? I'm speechless. What? Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why... Witness, that card. Give it to me. Hurry. Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? Inadvertently done? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. Girl genuinely has been playing with evidence. Yep. I didn't mean to. What is this all about? I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. the world is it? What does it mean? And that's where we're stopping today. It's kind of late. Cliffhanger. Okay, we will start next time with Pearl crying. Actually an insane case. What a twist. Yeah. I did say at the beginning of stream that I wasn't convinced it was Andrews because that would be too easy. I know this game so well, chat. Anyway, let's get the raid messages out. First one's for followers, second one's for subscribers. Please copy it. Let's find someone to raid out to. Whew. This has been a long stream, chat. Thank you all for joining me on this for this very long stream with a crash in the middle. Ooh, let's raid Sajini. Ooh, Retro is live too. Ooh, Chaos is live. Let's raid Chaos. I haven't raided him in a long, long time. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today. We'll continue this later this week, but for now, I will go rest, and so should you. Remember, I'm Okena, your friendly model axolotl, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Everyone, join the raid, join the raid!